What if I told you that most people don't drown in storms? They drown in their own untrained reactions to rain. Not because life is uniquely cruel to them, but because no one taught them to treat emotions like weather and themselves like pilots. You feel a spike of anger, and you hand it the wheel. You feel a dip of sadness, and you cancel the day. You feel fear, and you rehearse disasters till your courage goes stale. We speak as if emotions are orders from a general we must obey. The Stoics saw through that illusion. They weren't anti-feeling, they were pro-command. They didn't try to delete emotion, they learned to direct it, to read it, regulate it, and ride it where it's useful. Today you and I are going to lay 8 brutal Stoic truths on the table. Truths that, if you let them cut, will set you free from the drama that keeps stealing your time, your relationships, and your best work. No fluff, no platitudes, real emotional sovereignty you can practice tonight. But first, make a tiny promise to yourself in public. Subscribe to the channel right now and hit like, because we're building a community of people who choose mastery over mood. And tell me in the comments as we go. Does this happen to you? Do you get hijacked by your temper, numbness, anxiety, envy? Do you know someone who keeps doing this and then apologizing for the mess? Tag them. Leave one line about the emotion that owns you most and the moment it shows up. Your comment is not decoration. It is your first training log entry. Here's the first brutal truth. Emotion is a signal, not a command. The body produces sensation, the mind proposes a story, and then, if you're untrained, you surrender the steering wheel. Anger appears and your hands start typing. Panic appears and your calendar dissolves. Craving appears and your standards drop. The Stoic flips the sequence. Sensation is noticed, the story is examined. Action is chosen by principle, not by pressure. That means when heat rises, you don't say, "I am angry." You say, "Anger is present." You've moved the fire from your chest to a table where you can study it. Simple sentence, massive difference. And yes, your biology will still surge. So you give your biology a job. Inhale through the nose for 4, hold for 1, exhale through the mouth for 6 to 8. 5 cycles. You loosen your jaw. You lower your shoulders. You widen your gaze to pull your nervous system out of tunnel mode. This is not performative wellness. It's arithmetic for your nerve endings. When the body stands down, the story loses fuel. Then, and only then, you ask the question a commander asks. Given my values and my role, what's the next most useful move? That one question is an axe. It cuts the rope between feeling and flailing. Second brutal truth, nothing outside you has meaning until you assign it. Events are twant neutral. Interpretation is everything. The email is late. Neutral. The driver cuts in. Neutral. Your friend forgets, your plan shifts, the market dips. Neutral, neutral, neutral. Neutral doesn't mean painless. It means the pain isn't built in. It's built by the sentence you attach to the event. They disrespected me. I'm cursed. This always happens. I never win. Those are not facts. Those are scripts. Change the script and you change the surge. A human behaved like humans sometimes do. A plan met reality. A delay is information. This is training. Every time you rewrite the line, you reclaim the lever you actually control. That lever is not fate. That lever is meaning. And meaning directs emotion like a conductor directs sound. This is why a Stoic can live in the same city, work the same job, love the same people, and feel radically different, because they refuse to let chaos decide the caption. Third brutal truth, biology leads psychology more than your ego wants to admit. Sleep debt makes saints snappy. Caffeine at 9 p.m. turns thoughtful people into conspiracy theorists at 2 a.m. Blue light at midnight impersonates the sun and your hormones salute. If you consistently mistreat your body, you will consistently mistrust your emotions because your emotions will be lying, amplified by chemistry, not reality. So you install physical guardrails, dim the lights an hour before bed, end your shower cool, put your phone to sleep outside the bedroom, reduce late caffeine, walk after meals, breathe longer on the exhale when the heat hits. You might be tempted to say, that's basic. Correct. Because mastery is built on basics repeated. The Stoics trained their bodies to carry their minds. You can't steer a runaway horse by philosophy alone. Fourth brutal truth. Anger is a truic tacum. You pay when you let other people decide what deserves your energy. Sometimes anger is right. It tells you a boundary was crossed, a value was violated, a danger is real. Most times, it's borrowed drama. It shows up as a reaction to tone, delay, pride, disrespect. 1,000 gnats you swat at till you hit someone you love. The Stoic doesn't suppress anger. The Stoic assigns it. Work. If this is danger, I act decisively. Document, escalate, protect. If this is disrespect, I respond in one sentence with one consequence. We don't use that tone with each other. I'm ending the conversation now. If this is mere inconvenience, I convert the heat into output. 2 minutes of push-ups, a walk, one paragraph of the document I keep postponing. Anger wants you to perform. Give it a task instead, and make a rule you can apply under pressure. No hot sends, ever. Draft, breathe, stand, water, return cold, then ship or delete. You will save entire weeks of repair by obeying that one line. Fifth brutal truth. You cannot trust your dear Mood to deliver your mission. You can only trust your near method. Your mood is a weather app, sometimes accurate, often dramatic. Your method is a checklist. Stoic emotional mastery is less be brave and more run the protocol. Feeling triggered? Protocol, name, frame, move. Name the emotion out loud in clean language. Frame the event with the dichotomy of control. What's mine here, what's not mine. Move your body or your hands for 2 minutes on a small useful task. Feeling numb? Protocol, move first, then think. 10 minutes of walking, 1 set of squats, 1 glass of water. Then the smallest possible creative act. 1 sentence, 1 email, 1 sketch. So your brain has proof that motion is possible. Feeling anxious? Protocol, exhale longer than you inhale. List 3 things you control in the next hour. Cut inputs for 30 minutes. Address 1 financial logistical fear with a concrete step. Then return to your spear task for 15 minutes. Method beats mood because method doesn't argue. You don't need to feel like it to check a box. You need to check a box to remember who you are. Sixth, brutal truth. Outcomes are unreliable. Processes are entirely yours. Attachment breeds turbulence. Commitment breeds traction. The more you demand a specific response from other people or the universe, the more your nervous system will whipsaw between elation and collapse. The Stoic moves the target from I must win to I must work, from they must love me to I must love well, from this launch must explode to this version must ship and version 2 must be scheduled. Detach from outcomes not because results don't matter, but because they're not yours. What's yours is the repetition of honest work, the quality of your conduct, the steadiness of your aim. Ironically, the less you cling to applause, the more room you create for the kind of work that earns it. Seventh, brutal truth. Emotion expands to the size of your life. Shrink your life to comfort, and every slight becomes a crisis. Expand your life to challenge, and slights shrink to their proper size. The Stoics practiced voluntary hardship to widen their emotional range on purpose, not to suffer for sport, to train. Sleep on the floor once a month. Skip a meal you don't need. Walk in rain without complaint. Take a cold finish to your shower. Speak the truth you've been evading. Ask for what you want and survive the no. Anytime you choose a small discomfort, you plant a flag in your mind. I can feel this and act anyway. That flag marks territory. Territory becomes freedom. Freedom is the end of being jerked around by every gust of mood. Eighth brutal truth. Memento mori is not morbid, it's medicinal. Remember you will die, and watch pettiness evaporate. Remember they will die, and your patience returns. Remember this day will never come back, and you stop donating it to pointless loops. People who cannot face mortality chase novelty to numb the ache. Stoics sit with the truth until it turns into urgency and tenderness. Urgency to do the work while you still can. tenderness for the humans who are stumbling alongside you. If you carried memento mori into every fight, half your fights would end before they began. If you carried it into every delay, most delays would feel like training instead of punishment. Death is a ruthless editor. Let it edit your reactions. Take a breath with me, right here at the midpoint. If this is landing, if you can feel even a small new space between stimulus and response, subscribe now and hit like so this message reaches someone on the edge of another avoidable explosion. And add your voice below. Does this happen to you when your plan changes? When your pride gets scratched? When uncertainty shows up? Do you know someone who keeps letting mood run their mouth? Tag them and write the one sentence you'll use today when heat rises. Public words become rails. Rails guide trains through storms. Now, let's stitch these truths into daily life so mastery isn't inspiration, it's infrastructure. Imagine 3 rooms: work, relationships, and self. In each, you'll decide in advance how emotion will be handled. At work, you open with a gatekeeper. Hour. No feeds, no inbox, no messages. You begin by placing your body, water, breath, posture, and your mission. One outcome that, if completed, makes today a win. You write the first ugly sentence of that outcome so starting costs you nothing. You give this work 90 minutes while your brain is fresh. When emotion shows up, boredom, frustration, imposter syndrome, you don't negotiate. You run your method. Name, frame, move. You refuse to attach your identity to your feeling. You keep your commitment to your process. If a message arrives with heat, you obey the no hot sends law and reply cold inside your shallow work gate. And if a meeting has no agenda, no decision owner, no outcome, you say no, because your calm is worth more than their ceremony. In relationships, you decide to give them one sentence of truth before you give silence or essays. I'm not discussing that in that tone. I need 10 minutes. I'll come back. What you said landed hard. Can we redo this slower? You replace mind reading with asking and asking with listening. When a person you love is in a storm, you don't get sucked in. You widen your view and offer a rope, a boundary, a question, a walk. When you're the one in the storm, you call your own boundary. I'm hot, I'll reply at 3 p.m. You stop performing, always fine, and you stop exploding, you never. You start speaking like someone who knows their emotions are signals they read and standards they keep. With self, you build bookends. At night, you close the day with a 3-line ledger. What I did, what I learned, what I'll do next. You write the 3 outcomes for tomorrow, stage the tool for your spear task, and put your phone to sleep outside the bedroom. You darken the room, end the shower cool, breathe longer on the exhale, and tell your body the truth. We're safe. We did enough. We know what comes next. In the morning, you keep your phone away for 45 minutes. You sit in the chair where you build. You read your first sentence and begin. Your emotions are welcome guests. They are not allowed to rearrange the furniture. Let's walk through hot moments and fit these truths in your hands. The boss drops a vague message. Can we talk? Your stomach drops. Your mind scripts a firing. Brutal truth 1. The feeling is a signal. Your brain is proposing a story. You exhale longer than you inhale. You frame with control. What's mine? Prepare a 1-page status with next steps. You send, absolutely. What outcome would you like from the conversation? You move, write the 1 page. By the time the meeting begins, you're carrying facts instead of fantasies. The emotion did its job. Alert. You did yours. Prepare. No drama required. A stranger posts a mean comment. Old you composes a 12-line defense. Stoic you runs the neutral event rule. A human produced words. Is there signal? If yes, mine it. If not, mute, block, or ignore. Remember the anger tax. Why would you tip hecklers with the currency of your attention? You have outcomes to ship and people to love. Don't spend your calm trying to educate a ghost. Your partner is short with you after a long day. Old you, match volume, escalate, invent biographies. Stoic you, biology leads psychology. Both of you are tired. Boundary with care. I want to hear you. Let's talk after we eat. If it continues, 1 sentence. I love you. I'm not staying in this tone. Walk, return, repeat the truth. When voices rise, I shut down. Let's try again, slower. You're not rejecting the emotion, you're directing the conversation. Resentment turns hot moments into cold wars. Boundaries turn hot moments into repair. You're alone at night and the loop begins. Anxiety, comparison, self-attack. Old you, scroll until 1 a.m., wake foggy, call it fate. Stoic you, memento mori, this night won't return, kill inputs. 1 page of an old book, 2 minutes of breath, ledger, outcomes. Tools staged, lights down, sleep. You will never eliminate the loop, you will outschedule it. The next morning, when the loop knocks, it finds you busy living. Now that the truths are breathing, we'll push deeper, because sustainable mastery needs language, lag, and leverage. Language. Craft short lines that snap your mind out of superstition. When you hear "what if," say, "We'll find out by Friday at 4." When you hear "I don't feel like it," say, "2 minutes anyway." When you hear "they won't like it," say, "some won't." Ship version 1, schedule version 2. When you hear "this must be perfect," say, "it must be useful." When you hear "I'm behind," say, "I'm here, next honest action." Rehearse these when you're calm so you can deploy them when you're not. Words are levers. Lag. Install a sacred 2-minute delay between trigger and speech. Unless there's danger, you aren't allowed to talk until the body obeys the exhale count. 2 minutes feels like forever to pride, like oxygen to wisdom. Use those minutes to leave the room, drink water, walk to the door and back. Then speak 1 sentence of boundary or 1 sentence of truth. You'll be shocked how much chaos dies in those 120 seconds. Leverage. Set up your environment to make the right reaction easier than the wrong one. Phone on grayscale, sight blockers on default, noise canceling for deep work. A calm card on your desk with your breath count, your first line, and your boundary lines. A small stone in your pocket. When you feel it, you remember. Signal, not command. A cup on your dresser labeled "No hot sends." If you feel hot, you drop a coin. By Friday, you either have a collection of coins to donate or proof that you kept your rule. These sound silly until you try them. Then you see. Emotional mastery is a carpentry project. You build supports. The mind will use them. Let's tell the truth about relapse. It's coming. You will snap at someone who didn't deserve it. You will send heat. You will ghost a day. You will binge on opinion and starve facts. You will confuse feeling for fate. When you do, you'll be tempted to throw the whole project away. Don't. Run the Stoic repair. Own, atone, adjust, advance. Own in 1 sentence, no biography. I spoke in heat. That was wrong. Atonement is the act that repairs what can be repaired. Apology, replacement, refund, cleanup. Adjust 1 rule or environment piece. Charger moves to the kitchen. Slack only in 2 gates. Late caffeine cut. Advance by doing 1 tiny right thing before bed, so your identity doesn't go to sleep bleeding. Shame extends a mistake into a mood. Repair compresses a mistake into a lesson. Carry these 8 truths into larger forks, because that's where most people abandon mastery and call it destiny. Thinking about changing jobs or moving cities? Your emotions will swing. Good. Don't trust the swing. Trust a schedule of small proofs, 3 conversations with people living your possible future, a 2-week side experiment, a budget that includes a rainy day column, a date to decide. On that date, you will not know everything. You will know enough, and you will choose, and you will love fate after by showing up like a professional. Thinking about proposing or leaving, your emotions will riot. Good. Breathe. Slow. Ask a wiser person to ask you harder questions. Write the sentence you're afraid to say. Give it 24 hours. Then speak it without heat. Emotions are information. They are not oracles. You might ask, but what about injustice? What about righteous anger? What about grief? Stoicism is not a smiley face sticker. It's steel. When there is injustice, you don't metabolize your anger into tweets. You metabolize it into action. Document, Organize, vote, build, protect, litigate. Let your heat become policy and shelter. When there is grief, you don't posture. You sit with it. You cry. You hold hands. You remember memento mori, and you let the ache turn into gratitude for the time you had and urgency for the time you have left. Emotional mastery doesn't make you less human. It makes you more. Because you stop wasting the precious energy of your heart on theater and start spending it on truth. 2 more tools and we'll bring this home. The view from above and the Stoic day open, close. The view from above. When you feel swallowed, close your eyes and rise. Ceiling, roof, city, country, planet, space. See your problem shrink until you can hold it with 2 fingers. Not to minimize real pain, to right-size small pain. Then descend, carrying perspective like a lantern. The day open, close. Open with water, breath, first line, spear. Close with ledger, outcomes, staged tools, lights down, phone away, exhale count. While the world worships novelty, you will worship rhythm. Rhythm turns storms into weather, and weather into something you can work in. Right now, seal this in. Subscribe, hit like, and write in the comments. Does this happen to you? Do you know someone who needs to hear that emotions are signals, not commands? Tag them. Share the 1 sentence you'll keep on your tongue this week. Anger is present. No hot sends. Signal, not command. Useful, not perfect. We'll find out by Friday at 4. Public commitments take up space in your mind. Let them. We'll close with a creed you can carry into the next hour. Say it quietly when the room gets loud. My emotions are messengers, not masters. I read them. I respect them. I decide. I do not sell my calm to strangers. I exhale longer than I inhale when heat rises. I speak in 1 sentence where I used to write an essay. I let biology support my mind. I attach to my process and release my grip on outcomes. I practice discomfort on purpose so life doesn't own me by surprise. I remember I will die, and so I choose what matters and forgive what doesn't. When I fail, and I will, I repair quickly and begin again. I am not a robot. I am a steward. I am not above feeling. I am above flailing. I am not unbreakable. I am unshakable because I keep standing on what I believe when my feelings try to move me. If this lit even a small light in you, don't hoard it. Subscribe, like, and tell me in the comments 1 place you will practice tonight. When the text stings, I'll breathe and wait 2 minutes. When the plan slips, I'll say training and continue. When the loop starts, I'll kill inputs and do my ledger. Your life will not change because you watched a video. It will change because you made a rule and kept it once, then twice. Then long enough that people around you begin to relax because you stopped being weather and started being a person. Steady, clear, useful in every room you enter.